Thanks for stopping by Fix, Tinker, Review, Repeat. The shelving unit at the back of our 2022 Grand Design Reflection 28BH failed during the return from our last camping trip of the season. In this video, I'll describe why it collapsed, how I fixed it, and offer some needed construction improvements that you can use to prevent a similar situation from happening in your RV. Now here is the most major failure during the summer, and this was during our trip home from the last camping trip. The trip was about 200 miles, some fairly bumpy roads. But what happened was the second from top shelf collapsed and fell onto the bottom shelf, which then collapsed, and the contents of the shelves wound up on the floor of the bunkhouse. So this is the bottom shelf, and it sustained some fairly significant damage. The top shelf, I can salvage that and reuse it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use glue and screws rather than these staples. They use a lot of staples, but apparently with all the bouncing and flexing was not quite enough to hold the shelves in place. Now this water jug weighs about 21 pounds, 2.5 gallon water jug. That was on the second from top shelf, and that shelf collapsed down and took the bottom shelf with it. These two tackle boxes weigh about 6 pounds total, and these were on the bottom shelf. The support that they used is rather cheap wood, and they do have glue joints, and several of the glue joints actually failed during this incident. It's held together by staples and some fairly cheap support wood, which failed in several spots. Here's a joint which was a glued joint, and a similar joint here failed on the support. This is the front to back support, and that failed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all these staples that I don't need, and I'm going to use some more substantial wood. You can see that the cross brace in the back that's screwed into the rear wall is actually cracked. Several of those glue joints actually did fail, and that I think contributed to the structural failure of the shelves. Well, here are the materials I'm going to need to do the repair, and some common tools to do some carpentry work. And when you have an RV, you're a carpenter, a plumber, an electrician, and a mechanic, all rolled into one. We got this 1/8-inch Luan plywood from Home Depot. It was on clearance. It'll do the job nicely to fix that bottom shelf, as well as some knotless pine. All told, the wood and stain and glue to fix the damage was about $40. Now I realize this is an RV, but it's almost laughable, but these engineered pieces of wood with staples is just not structurally sound to support any significant amount of weight. Compare this to a solid piece of wood, and the solid wood would have much more strength. I just wanted to give an idea of why I think the shelving unit collapsed. Here in the front portion of the shelving unit, there are very few staples, and this front left portion of the shelving unit on all three shelves is very, very weak and unsupported. I can actually push this down quite easily by hand. What I found is that in the front portion of the shelving unit on all three shelves, there were very few staples in the front half of the shelving unit. This caused the weight of the 2.5 gallon jug of water to overwhelm this middle shelf. It collapsed onto the bottom shelf and then onto the floor. Well, the support braces are finished. I still need to do the one for the top. I haven't put the cross brace on that one yet. I did do the side braces, but I still need to put the cross. So I'm going to dry fit the piece of Luan plywood. I cut this to match what was there before. This replaces the damaged piece when the shelf collapsed. So let me dry fit that in, and then I'm going to stain it, install it, and then put the top piece in. So far, it's taken me about 8, maybe 9 hours of time. So let me dry fit the shelf, make sure it fits, and then I'll take it outside and stain it. Okay, good fit. Well, here's the shelving unit after the reconstruction. I'm pretty happy with it. And like they say on that storm restoration commercial, it's like it never happened. Well, now on to the next project. I was very upset when I saw the collapsed shelves on the floor of the RV. And I was disappointed in the overall construction quality of the shelves and the lack of staples at the front of each of the shelves that collapsed. Well, the lesson learned is that heavy items such as water jugs and tools and appliances, particularly when we're driving and going from one site to the next, will be stored on the floor and not on the shelves. So thanks for watching the video. If you like the video, please give a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. Also, subscribe and press that notification bell. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.